No.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the Bars and Turn podcast. I am Brendan, aka Not Brandon, joined by Will, aka The Lost Gamer. Will, how are you doing today?
I am doing just fine.
Good.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm alright. I tried to make chocolate chip pancakes this morning for breakfast. That was kind of an adventure. Because I was just doing it by myself and I was just like trying to figure it out. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do that. And it went okay. For a first batch of pancakes that I ever made, like it was fine. Like it was a little crispy. I was like, this is like toast almost on one side, but yeah.
But my question is, did you manage to not burn down the house?
No, the house did not burn down.
That is quite an achievement. I don't think I can manage to bake cookies without burning down the neighborhood.
Really? I've actually made cookies before. I do that all the time.
I can't recall any like baking anecdotes.
You've never attempted cooking or anything?
No, I've baked like brownies numerous times as a kid, and cookies, but I never really like.
You're not the cooking type. You're just like, I'll take whatever's made for me.
As long as I can put it in the microwave, I should be good.
Okay, I see.
Or in the oven. I mean, I'll attempt to cook every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not often I go out of my way to do it.
Okay. How's your week?
My week's been alright.
That's it? That's all you got?
I've been playing around in Unity, just sort of doing the tutorial for the first-person shooter aspect. I kind of play around for like maybe an hour or two. I've been having fun with it.
Alright. No videos or anything?
No, unfortunately. I just haven't really had... I've just been kind of lazy about it, really.
I can't say I've been doing too much outside of the cooking thing. I'm applying for jobs and stuff and trying to like find a place of employment. I would love to be like making YouTube content as like a job, but I don't really have the viewership for that yet, so I have to kind of just I have to find something to pay off stuff in the meantime.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for that. The monitor hunt was completed. I bought a new monitor.
Nice.
It is the AOC, I think it's like 2740 or something like that. And it's awesome. It's a 144 refresh rate. It's great. Love the monitor. It has one dead pixel. And I'm like frustrated about it because I spent like $200 on it. It has a dead pixel. And I'm like, oh well. Luckily, like it's so small that like it's hard to like, you have to like directly like stare at it for a second to even see it because your eyes kind of like correct for it. It's weird. If you're like not paying attention to the dead pixel, you're not going to see it. But like if you're like looking right at it, you're like, oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it.
If you're actively looking for it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was actually debating on possibly going on a monitor hunt myself.
Oh, I would love to help you with that. What are you looking for? Do you know?
I have nothing in mind.
Nothing in mind. Okay, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You're actually probably in the same space that I was something that's both for gaming and for creative work.
Yeah.
So you want something that's color accurate and probably has a high refresh rate. I didn't think high refresh rate was that big of a deal, but now that I have a 144 hertz monitor, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I can't go back. I have to. I'd have to have that from now on. The next upgrade is probably going to be a 4K monitor when I inevitably get my PC build underway, which that's a long ways away. It's probably like a year out or so. But
no, man, you got to get that 8K monitor.
No, I'm not gonna go 8K. That's not worth it. That's still like crazy expensive.
When the market seems to calm down about it, I suppose.
Right. When it becomes more prevalent, you mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. When it's like cheaper. Playing anything this week?
I tried out No Man's Sky earlier today in VR.
Ooh. Okay. How's that?
It's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I still don't technically have the minimum specs. It kind of runs like ass every now and then.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you need to upgrade.
I know. Well, the thing is, though, is that when I did my when I scanned my computer to see it was capable for the Vive, I did a scan. All it said was that my graphics card needed to be updated. So I did. I didn't realize that...
Oh, you did update the graphics card?
Yes.
What'd you update to?
GTX 6300, I think. I don't know. I figured that would be a good upgrade to have. Maybe, but it might be my memory card or my RAM.
Let me see here. 6300. AMD?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not good. That's comparable to a 1050 Ti, which is like bottom tier. So yeah, that's not gonna be that would not be enough. I also see that like it looks like it's a processor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My processor.
Okay, so you updated your processor. You didn't update your graphics card.
No, I think I'm getting confused because I was looking at my system specs earlier to figure it out myself.
Oh, okay. So the AMD FX 6300 is your CPU,
Yeah.
and then your graphics card we still don't know.
I think that's my processor or my CPU, whatever.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Okay. I asked what you updated your graphics card to, and you're like, "Oh, this is what I updated to." And I looked it up, and it's a CPU.
That's why I thought I updated to, but I mistook it for my processor instead. I was saying.
Okay, so what did you actually?
I was saying yeah to. You know what? I don't recall.
You don't know?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I was looking up on my system specs what my graphics card is, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, okay. that's all right. But I would do that scan again just to see.
Well, the thing is, though, is that Rift got rid of its compatibility tool. So if I want to figure out what I need, I have to do it manually, and that's I don't get why they had to get rid of the compatibility tool. It makes no sense to me.
I haven't been paying any attention to it, but I've been wanting to get the Rift S, but like I don't know yet, so still holding out.
Anyways, but because like my processor might be out of date or whatever, I have hiccups here and there. Like entering the atmosphere into my ship can take a while, but when I could get the game to run, it's pretty fun.
All right, well that's good.
It's kind of cool, like having to switch your visor by like holding up your left hand, and you sort of activate it there. It feels more immersive that way.
Did you see the Internet Historian video on No Man's Sky?
That's what got me into wanting to play it.
That actually works as a big marketing tool for them.
Yeah.
I think there's even like a tweet from Sean Murray, who he actually saw the video and tweeted it out and was like, maybe I should delete this. And then he saw that the sales of No Man's Sky went up, and he was like, maybe it's okay.
But yeah, I just think it's kind of impressive, like how far No Man's Sky has come since everyone's been shitting on it.
Yeah, they literally got like the worst of the internet, and they still like pushed through.
It kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy XIV. When that game came out, it was a disaster. It was a disaster at launch. But they still managed to work it out in the end. And I find it really impressive when developers can manage to pull that off.
Right. I mean, you just buckle down and work. That's really what you got to do.
Yeah.
You just double down on. All right, this is our game. We're just gonna get through it and get it done. Whereas it looks like with games like Fallout 76, it looks like they just cut their losses. You know, they're like, well,
they tried. Game over.
Yeah. They apparently still have that expansion coming out. The I don't even remember, Into the Wasteland expansion or something for Fallout 76, and it adds NPCs or whatever.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Talking about.
Yeah.
Like, is that a free expansion, or do you have to pay for that?
It's free.
Okay.
But there's all kinds of like terrible stuff with Fallout 76. That's its own thing. Like they charge like $100 premium in order to play it single player. Like all kinds of just like dumb stuff. Like they've turned like community mods and they took them and they're starting to sell them on the store. They have like terrible practices where they will like put something on sale, but what they actually do is they raise the price of it a little bit and then put it on sale. They got in trouble for that one though. They stopped doing that recently because in many countries it's actually illegal.
Of course it is.
To do that. But that's just that 76 is just a complete mess. So
it is a disaster. But Bethesda has no one to blame but themselves, really.
Yeah. Bethesda's just way to fall like so fast. It's incredible. We're just gonna mention it every episode how far Bethesda has fallen in the last like year or so. Anyway, so No Man's Sky is good when it works for you.
Yeah, I am very interested in like the end game stuff, and when I actually get to explore out of space, which I must say, flying around is a little bit awkward for me because having to move the ship around, but it doesn't quite feel like I'm moving a joystick like it's supposed to be. It's just,
Okay. I kind of get what you mean. Or it's like the controls are sticky.
like having to control something that's not really there. That can be a little bit. I might get used to it as I go along. Kind of wish I could actually like sit down and control the ship.
Okay. You might what you might want to do is you can invest in a joystick, like one of those big like flying. I don't know what they're called, but like you can get like aircraft style like joysticks and stuff that.
Well, I don't know if that would actually like mesh into
the game. Yeah, I'm sure somebody has like a hack for it or something that where you could do that. Because it seems like when you game in a game where you would be flying all the time, that you could change the controls of it to match one of those things. It's not really like that hard even. It's just like binding certain actions to. It's like rebinding a keyboard basically.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna make P this movement. I'm gonna make this button instead of the button it used to be. Or you're making it so the game is telling the joystick that this action equals this button. So like I have a mouse that I use for editing, and it has like 9 buttons on it, and what I've done is I've binded each one of those buttons to a certain key. So instead of hitting V, I press that button on the mouse and it tells the computer that I hit V. So it's like kind of like an interesting way to like kind of make things a little smoother when I'm editing. And I think you could do the same thing with the joystick where you're like V is this action on the joystick or something like that. But I don't know.
I would have to look up to see if that's even possible.
I feel like it would be. And I think that would solve that issue of feeling like you're not controlling anything. But I don't know. Playing anything else?
I've been playing Dusk.
How's that?
Oh my god, it is so fun. I don't, it's very reminiscent of old id Software first-person shooters with its pacing.
All right.
And even level designs where you have to go around collecting color-coded keys to unlock doors, and then you have the secrets within each area. It's very structured like Doom and Quake.
All right.
Admittedly, I kind of wanted to record something in case I wanted to make a video about it, and my recording came out all stuttery.
Oh, you used OBS, right?
Yep.
All right, that's probably like recording settings. You just need to go in there and like make sure everything's right.
I've been trying, and okay, I haven't tried that hard now that I think about it. I remember I looked into it.
Honesty is the best medicine, I guess.
But I did look around, play around the settings, but I couldn't really figure anything out at the time.
Okay.
I think what it was just I didn't want to deal with it at the time, and I just wanted to play the game.
All right, hey guys, just let me play the game. I'm not even gonna try with this recording stuff. Is that it for what you're playing?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. I guess for me, I've been all over the board recently, playing a lot of Apex still, enjoying that. Although they got rid of that mode that actually you and I were playing, that co-op mode or whatever it was.
Duo mode, yeah, the
duo mode,
which was just an event similar to solo mode. The developers have, I think they mentioned that depending on popularity, they might return it as a permanent mode. Would still annoy me if it was a reoccurring event, but I would take that over nothing.
Yeah, that seems bizarre. Why would they? Is it like a server space thing where it's like we don't have the server space to make sure that everybody can play this mode and play this mode?
I can't really find any information on why they do this. I don't think they really gave an answer as to why they do it this way. Not that I could find anything.
That seems silly. I mean, it is a stray away from the core concept of what the game was, which is a 3-player battle royale. You make your team of friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think it doesn't hurt your game at all to have extra modes like that. In fact, it adds value to the game, and I think it would make people want to play it more. It's like, oh, okay, so I can play as a team, or I can play by myself if I don't feel like meeting up with a team, or meeting up with strangers or whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I understand that it goes against the core concept, which is that it's this team-based whatever. So, I don't know.
I don't see the problem in having the option there.
Like, why even make the option?
Yeah, like, it's not like it's taken away from the team building aspect if it's still, like, available there.
Like, it doesn't hurt anything that I have it there. But, like, I don't know. It's silly. I don't like that. I wish that they had just stuck with it that way. But they didn't. And so you kind of have to just kind of live with it.
I also...
It's a... Sorry, what?
Well, I was going to talk about was the golden weapon, or when we were playing duo mode, when we were playing that one mode where tier loot was basically not a thing. You could always find golden weapons with the best stuff. Was that exclusively in duo mode, or was that a separate thing?
I don't know. See, like, that's the thing. Like, I had just come back to Apex, so I don't know if they've done that before. They're in Season 3, so I imagine they've done something like that, but I don't know.
But that's like another thing I'd be totally okay with as its own mode.
Yeah.
Since it's basically... it's less luck-based.
I don't know. It's this crazy thing where they're like, oh yeah, here, play this fun mode. Oh, we're just going to take it away from you after 3 days. Well, it's like, okay, well... that's like a demo. Like you're like, oh, here's this cool gameplay aspect. And the reason why I liked that duo mode was, one, you can play with just one person if you don't have a team of 3, and then second, it was really skill based, because it's not about who's the luckiest in terms of finding weapons. It's like, okay, the weapons are an even playing field. Everybody has access to the same things. So now it's based on like how good you are with those weapons. And I liked that idea of the gameplay more than just, like, it being luck-based. I mean, when you and I were playing, we can get to, like, top 5, top 4 just by, like, hanging out somewhere. And so, like, you get to a certain point where you're like, oh, well, most of the game is luck-based. You're not even, like, really skilled because you're just avoiding players until you get to the end,
By the time you get to that end, chances are they'll have some of the best gear available.
Right. So, like, I don't know, it's this weird thing with Apex. I don't hate it. It's not going to make me not want to play it, because it's still fun. And, like, the core game is still fun, too, so I'm still going to play it for a bit. But, like, it's just disappointing, basically, to have that stuff pulled out.
It kind of sucks just that you... I mean, I'm glad... Okay, then again, the game is free.
Yeah, the game is free. So, it's not like you're, like, paying for a product. It would be different. It would be really different if you, like, bought the game and they're, like, stripping modes from the game. I feel like that's weird.
Yeah, that
to do.
I'm sure there would be outrage against that.
Yeah, that would not be recommendable. Anyway, so I've been playing Apex with myself and with Will on occasion.
It is the best and only battle royale game I have ever played.
It's the only one I've really played too. I played a little bit of PUBG, but I didn't really like it, so I just kind of stopped.
I've not touched any other battle royales.
I don't think you really need to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary.
So you've also been playing Gwent?
I've been playing Gwent, yeah. If you don't know, Gwent is the Witcher card game. That's been really fun. I really enjoy that. The way I would describe it is, Will, do you remember when Hearthstone came out?
Yes.
And it was all the 3 of us were playing, me and Will and one of our friends. Gwent feels like those early days, like before, like, I almost said BioWare, but before Blizzard screwed up Hearthstone with, like, its mechanics and, like, changing the balancing of certain cards, and they just totally screwed it up.
Uh-huh.
Gwent is not that. It feels like when Hearthstone started. Like, it's so great. And what's great about it is that it's actually been going on for, like, a year and a half or 2 years.
Huh.
So, like, you have all these expansions and everything still feels like it's kind of like, like it's still like balanced.
Isn't that game free as well?
Yeah, it is free as well. But it's exclusive to GOG. It's not on Steam.
All right.
Which I was disappointed about. But reintroduced me to GOG, and I kind of like GOG a lot more than Steam. The only thing I don't like about GOG is that it's not as feature-rich, but the thing's in beta, so, like, of course it's not as feature-rich.
Funny enough, I actually own 2 copies of Ultimate Doom. One on Steam and one on GOG. The reason I have both of those is because I got on Steam first, realized that some parts are kind of broken. Like, I can't move the mouse without it freezing up on me.
Nice.
And and everything felt kind of compressed. on GLG, it's a lot more customizable, and it actually looks a bit better too.
Well, that's good. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
I wog love to like switch over to have like some things on GOG and some things on Steam. So I think I'm just gonna kind of do that from now on and kind of see where GOG goes from here. But I really like it.
Yeah, I do like its library of classic computer games.
Yeah, it also has like some classic modern stuff.
I just kind of wish I could get Neverwinter Nights to run on it.
Oh yeah, we went through that, didn't we?
You and I were wanting to play that, but neither of us could get it running on our computers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we wanted to play multiplayer, and the multiplayer didn't work.
You want to give that another shot someday?
Yeah, but like we gotta get through Bloodborne and stuff first.
But yeah, GOG has like a pretty good library.
Yeah, it's not as like much of a dumpster fire as Steam is. Where like the Steam store, yeah, they have everything, but like they have everything. So you're like, all these stuff is like buried under like basically shovelware. So
oh god, it's the Wii shovelware days all over again.
It's like worse than that almost, because like anything and everything can get on that store platform. There's like 1,000,001 videos done by like Jim Sterling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of like different sources that I would recommend to go to about that. But yeah. So yeah, I've been playing Gwent. I enjoy it a lot. The one thing about it that I think is really interesting is that a lot of it is also luck based, where if you make it's not necessarily luck based, where it's just like if you could screw yourself over real easy and not know that you screwed yourself over. So and it's a lot of like strategic guessing, where like you're like, okay, so we're on the last round. There's 3 rounds in Gwent. If you tie, if one person wins one round and one person wins the other round, then you go to the round 3, which that's winner take all at that point. But if you don't have the cards ready, for that round 3, you might have already lost and you don't even know yet. So it's possible that like if your opponent revealed his hand and you saw your hand, because it's all numbers based, right? It's about having the highest score at the end of the round. So if your opponent has more cards than you might all have already lost. And so there's like things like that where you have to like have proper card management, and you have to properly use which strategic card to use where, and each character that you play as has certain abilities. So like my ability is that I can increase 2 of my cards by 3. Or by 3 defense. So at the end of the round I am guaranteed 6 points if I use it properly, and assuming that they don't like kill one of my cards or whatever. So you can run into this problem where like you push everything to win that second round so you could force round 3, but because you did all that stuff to force round 3, you don't have anything left, and so you lose anyway. So it's like this weird thing of like you have to balance when to lose and when to win too. Like there's been a lot of times where like in order to win the second round, I will forfeit the first round. And how you do that is you can pass. So like if it looks like your opponent is just trouncing you, and that first round you can go, okay, I'm going to pass and save all my cards for the next round. Because I've already lost this one. It's not worth fighting for it. Because it's already like 30-0. But you also know, since you passed this round and they've used those cards, you know they've used those cards. And they have, each character has like cards to revive other cards. So for example, if I could have a card that dies in round 1, I could put a card down that revives that card plus 2 points. So now I'm up by 10 in round 2 instead of being up by just 2.
So you more or less want to adapt your card usage depending on the situation.
Exactly, yeah. So there's a lot of like strategic thinking involved. It's really enjoyable. I really like it.
I'll have to climb through the ranks and defeat you someday.
Yeah, we can play some at some point. I think you can just join a match or something. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't show you your win-loss tally until you reach rank 25, which is a little silly. So you can't see like how many matches you've won and how many matches you've lost. You can only see how many you've won. You don't see losses until you reach rank 25, and then once you're rank 25, you can start to see more in-depth stats of like where you rank globally and stuff like that.
That is a really weird reward unlock.
Yeah, it almost makes me feel like that I'm wrong about it. Like, it's so weird, and I'm like, there's got to be like a hidden menu or something that I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Because it seems so weird that they would put that behind that high of a level gap, but maybe it's like super quick to get there, and that's why they put it up. I don't know.
I haven't touched the game.
I only really started playing it on Wednesday, so like I'm already like only like 3 days into playing it. But I'm really enjoying that. It's made me want to play The Witcher more. And so I'm probably going to be playing a little bit of The Witcher this weekend. So that's been fun. And that's really all I've been playing. I occasionally play like Out of the Park Baseball or like Halo or something, but it's only for like an hour a match. And that's not really worth talking about. So that's really it for what I've been playing.
Alright.
Ready for the news, Will?
Yep.
Alright, where do you want to start?
How about that, the man who apparently hijacked an airport monitor to play PS4.
Yeah. Speaking of Apex, how about how about that story where the man hijacked a monitor. My favorite part of the story is that he asked to finish his match. He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll unplug my stuff, but can you let me finish the match first?" And they were like,
Nope.
"No." That's a pretty funny story. So what happened is that this guy got bored sitting at the airport waiting for his plane to get there, and so what he did is he hooked up his PlayStation to a monitor that was available at an airport. And the funny thing is that when you do that, it's called hijacking the monitor. Yeah, according to the article. So like it like they detected that somebody had gotten into the monitor and they thought that he was hacking into it or something, but no, he was just playing his PlayStation. Which, by the way, I didn't know that airports had strong enough Wi-Fi to play Apex, but okay.
See, the solution for this sort of dilemma should be either Sony make a Switch version of their console, or airports have readily available television to plug your consoles in.
I think the solution to this is just have a Switch and not play. Like, either have a Switch or have a Game Boy or a Vita.
Yeah, but
or a PSP or a Game Gear or a phone
or
Apple,
sorry.
Don't do anything with Apple. No.
An Atari Lynx.
Bring your Zune. Bring your I don't know. Bring an external monitor with you to plug your PlayStation into. Because I can't tell you not to use the outlet. So just plug it in that way. There's plenty of like small. That's actually a legitimate solution because there are plenty of small monitors that you can buy that you could carry in a backpack.
Huh.
I was actually looking at one while I was on my monitor hunt. They had an external monitor that's about 16 or 17 inches or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's like pretty small. And you could just throw that in your backpack and like use it as like a external monitor for anything. So if you had a PlayStation Slim with you or something, you could totally plug that in.
Huh. That's kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah, so there's a solution there. If you really want to do that, there's a solution.
I mean, it's a viable one. I'll give you that.
Yeah. What else we have?
So speaking of PS4, we got a PS4 exclusive coming to PC later.
Rumored.
Right. Okay, sorry.
Horizon Zero Dawn is rumored to be coming to PC this year. I mean, it's a rumor, so who knows if it's true. But if it is true, I must say that it's almost at the point where like there's no point in getting a PlayStation 4. If that comes over, and like God of War comes over, and like Bloodborne comes over, then there's like, there's no point. What exclusive is there on a PlayStation that would warrant you to want to play a PlayStation over a
Knack
PC at that point? Knack, yes. Which actually, I think Knack is no, it's not coming to PC. Never mind. Do you know there was a Knack 2?
Yeah. I mean,
I completely forgot about that. I was like, oh yeah, they've made a sequel. I forgot. It kind of became a meme in the PlayStation community, but
I mean, who really remembers in the first place?
Who really remembers Knack to begin? Yeah, to begin with.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see Horizon come to PC if it's true.
Yeah, it would. That's the thing, though. Is it like I don't understand why you would want a PlayStation if all the stuff like it's clearly like the best way to be a gamer, or which I don't like that term, but like the best way to like be someone who's into video games is just wait for things. If you just wait for like a year or two after or three after something comes out, not only is it cheaper, but it might be on a better platform. Like I don't see why like I continuously see that building a PC and just waiting for things to come out is infinitely better than buying a console at this point. Because yeah, you might have a massive investment of like $1,100, but you're also getting games for like $20, and it's going to run way better than anything else.
It's a long-term investment versus short-term.
Right. It seems weird to even want a console now. If this is what we're gonna do, if this is the thing we're going to do, where we're like, okay, a console exclusive comes out, cool, it's really good, cool. If you wait 4 years, it'll come to a better platform. So it's like, okay, so now it's like you're weighing like how long do you want to wait for this thing? Like you could play it now if you have a PlayStation, and so that's $200, $300 to buy a PlayStation plus $20 to buy Horizon. I think Horizon's like $20 right now. Or you could wait another year if you were like if we're like starting right now, and play it on a better platform at a higher frame rate and resolution, and have the game run better. Hypothetically, they might bungle up the launch of it like they did with Iceborne. I don't know if you saw that. The Monster Hunter game that came out, the DLC or whatever that came out on Steam the other day, has been a total disaster.
Really?
Yeah, it's on our news items, but like that's been a real mess. Like there are like the version of the game that's out right now draws so much power from your computer that people have reported that their lights have literally dimmed in their house when they start playing the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it's bad. It's bad.
I'm a little afraid of touching that game now.
Yeah. Monster Hunter itself is fine, but Monster Hunter Iceborne on PC is a total mess. And apparently it will not be fixed until the PC team that Capcom has is done with DMC5 and with Resident Evil, because they're still putting patches out and stuff for that.
So
Putting patches out for that.
So it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, it might be a little bit before it's like totally fixed. They're going to fix it. I mean, right now, I'm sure they're putting patches out and stuff like that, but
That gives us more time to see if we can finish World. Because, you know,
yeah.
we want to play that.
I do want to play World at some point. Sekiro is getting a prequel manga in Japan. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Telling the story of our favorite training dummy.
That's right, yeah. I want a prequel about the doll from Bloodborne. And it's just like 3 pages of her sitting on a shelf. And then, what's his name? I almost said Ganon.
Garmin?
Garmin. Just picks it up and like puts it down like in the place, and it sits there for another 3 pages, and then you die to something in Bloodborne. I don't want to spoil it. And she comes back and she's alive, and that's the start of the story. That's it. That's all it is. It's like 12 pages. And you're like, oh well, okay.
Glad we now know more about her.
Something about this story that I do think is interesting is that it is not actually anything to do with the story. Is just that I started playing Sekiro. I enjoy it so far. I'm about like a half hour in. I enjoy it. I'm definitely gonna play a lot more of it, but I can definitely see what people are talking about with like the different like. It's definitely different than the rest of the Soulsborne games.
If you try playing it like a Soulsborne game, you will die.
Yeah. It's crazy because it's mostly about parrying.
Yeah.
It's not really about dodging, which is what most of the series has been about.
Yeah, like Bloodborne was more or less about you dodging. And this one, this one has more focus on parrying, just timing your moves in general.
Mm-hmm.
That aspect does make it pretty fun, more so than, FromSoft's later Blood Souls series.
Yeah. Yeah, no, differently.
Like by the time I got to Dark Souls 3, I got Soulsborne out. Seeing as how they started coming out at a yearly release, and you had some of
Oh,
these
yeah.
other Soulsborne clones coming out. I was kind of getting a little fatigued. But I saw Saikuro, and I'm like, okay, that looks way more interesting than any of this. I'm gonna check that out. So I get.
I actually started playing Dark Souls 3 as well. So I'm just kind of like ping ponging back and forth between those and Witcher and like all this stuff. I have endless things to play.
Same.
So
I mean, I got Enter the Gungeon, and that like takes a long time to like complete.
you really have to like just pick and choose what you're gonna like dedicate yourself to.
Yeah.
And then when you're done with that, it's like, all right, find the next thing.
I am pretty bad at just sticking to one game.
Yeah, I just kind of like bounce around. I'll tell you what, the thing that I like the most about a game that's gonna make me play it the most is if I can listen to a podcast while I play it. I don't know why that is. Like if I'm like playing something and I listen to a podcast at the same time, I play that game like way more than anything else. I think it's just the like playing that while I'm listening to something that I enjoy. It's like getting two birds with one stone kind of a thing. Like I've been doing that a lot with Gwent, where I'll listen to a podcast and I'll be playing a little bit of Gwent, and then like I've been like 4 or 5 matches in, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I used to have like YouTube videos playing on my second monitor years ago. I stopped doing that once I went back to one monitor. But I kind of like made the subconscious decision to stop doing it just because I guess I wanted to focus more into the game rather than turning it down than just having a video or something play on the sideline.
Right. Yeah.
But then I had to think to myself, okay, games like Dark Souls and all those, they're quiet already. I might as well just have something play in the background.
Yeah.
But I don't have a second monitor to even play those, so
We're gonna find a solution for you. We're gonna get you that second monitor. Although I think you need to be focused on your PC hardware first before you upgrade anything else.
yeah. I just don't know where
I'll
to
tell
begin.
you. We'll talk about it.
Anyways, so Sekiro manga, yeah. Apparently, no news of
Yeah.
translation yet.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be one of those things that comes over here. It'd be nice if it came over here, but I don't know. I really would rather see if it's good first, and then if it's good, then it can come over here. Because otherwise, the Japanese could just have it.
Yeah, and then we could just stream it.
Speaking of something that we will not be streaming anytime soon, Cyberpunk gets delayed till September.
Yeah.
Sad but good news at the same time, because there's so much shit coming out between now and then. You're not even gonna notice that time that time has flown by. Like we still have Animal Crossing, we still have Doom. There's all kinds of stuff still coming out in March and April and in June and in July. Oh my god, it just never ends this year. It's just nuts.
Final Fantasy 7 also got delayed by a month, so it's now being pushed to April. So we got like 2 big games already being pushed out of the month.
Yeah,
that month.
Well, that gives it a little bit of breathing room, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting.
Still, we've got like a pretty good lineup this year, and it's pretty massive if like most of it just gets released into 1 month.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that delay. Though now there are stories about crunch going on at CD Projekt Red. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Like, of course they're crunching. That they have a game coming out in September. Crunch isn't. There's like 2 different kinds of crunch. I think like there's developer crunch where like they're forcing people to hit this deadline like arbitrarily when they absolutely could delay it, and there's just like natural crunch where you're like getting close towards the end of a game where it's just like, yeah, everybody kind of wants to get it done. Like everybody's getting excited about getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, with this, it sounds like they're giving themselves more breathing room.
And it also just helps the launch of the game because they're not competing as much with anything else. So
no, they're like, okay, we need more time to polish it out.
At the same time, if you're killing yourself to get this thing done by September, maybe you shouldn't have it out in September. Maybe you should push it to October. But then you're dealing with like what's coming out in October. You know, you're competing with that. I don't know. I'm happy with this delay.
It just means they'll get better, hopefully.
Yeah. You know, that stereotypical quote from Miyamoto, even though he doesn't actually follow it. You know, the delayed game is like whatever. Yeah, everybody knows it. Look it up if you don't.
Yep.
I think he said anime was a mistake. I think that's what he said.
No, I think he said video games were a mistake.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said. Speaking of mistakes, Batman Arkham Origins Studio is teasing a new project. They put out a logo on Twitter A lot of people think that it's another Batman game, and I really hope it's not. I'm done with Batman. I hope they do something else. 3 Batman games and a spin-off game developed by somebody else is enough. So,
But I want to feel like Batman.
yeah, do you feel like Batman? No. The Arkham games are great. Like I haven't played one that I haven't been like, oh, this is alright. But I really want them to do something else, like just something brand new.
It seemed like Arkham Knight was supposed to be the final one. Can't that just be the final one?
Yeah, but maybe Warner Brothers is telling them to do something else. I don't know.
I think just kind of weird that they're this cryptic style.
Oh, well, they're teasing it because it's probably gonna get announced at like E3 or something. It might get announced in February actually because of the Sony event that may or may not take place in February. That's been rumored a lot recently too. Is that Sony's going to reveal the PlayStation 4 in February? So,
You mean 5?
or 5, yeah. No, they're gonna re-reveal PlayStation 4. They're like, we're taking it back. We're gonna do it again. It sold so well, so we're just gonna do it twice. PlayStation 4 Part 2.
The first one was just a prototype.
They come out on stage and we're like announcing the PlayStation 4, and everybody's like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, guys, it's 2013. And they're like, wait, what? And everybody's just traveled back in time.
Next door, Microsoft unveiling the Xbox One.
Except they do it right this time. And they're like, and they don't say TV at all. Oh man, you remember how disappointing it was when Xbox was talking about like TV and like TV integration and stuff, and they hardly brought up video games.
Yeah.
Man, that was disappointing.
They were pushing it as a cable box.
Yeah. Not necessarily as a cable box, but as like a box to tie together all your boxes. So you could have your game box and your cable box run through the same box, even though they already have their own boxes. I don't know.
It didn't feel like they were trying to make a gaming system. It was just a box that just happened to play games.
Right. And what's funny is that it doesn't do any of those features that it does now.
Really?
Like, it's like completely different. The UI and stuff. They've just patched it like crazy. And yeah, they've eliminated a lot of those features. They're hardly there anymore. Like, you can't do Snap anymore. You can't talk to Cortana or whatever anymore. Connect is hardly a feature. It's there, but like it doesn't really work the way that it as intended.
I completely forgot that like Connect came bundled with every Xbox One until it just suddenly stopped.
It actually made the console way cheaper. I don't know. That was disappointing. Much like the new Smash character reveal.
Oh my god, this
What a way to I was talking to a friend of mine about it. They should have revealed that character first.
Yeah.
If they reveal that one first and Banjo last, people would like this. The conversation would be entirely different right now.
You had the first 4 characters be the first representation of third-party games, and then you end off with what was supposed to be the final DLC originally, Fire Emblem.
And what really is disappointing is that everybody before this announcement was like Dante or bust. Oops. Because one of the developers of the DMC3 port that's coming, DMC3 is coming to Switch.
Oh, nice.
And one of the developers of that said, "Hey, you should be paying attention to Sakurai's presentation on the 16th or whatever." And and everybody goes, "Oh shit, Dante's gonna be in Smash." Which, by the way, even if Dante wasn't in Smash, people will be bitching about that he'd probably be a sword character. So, that's something I did think was really funny about that reveal was when I think it's like Queen something, I don't remember what her name is, one of the Fire Emblem characters is like, oh, another sword character, eh? I was like, oh, they're a little self-aware about it. They know.
I find it really funny though how the guy comes back and he's like, "So what's your plan to defeat them this time?" And he's a chick, and instead of saying anything, she's like, "I'll reward your cleverness this time."
That was weird. I was like, that's not what?
Yes,
okay.
Because apparently the power of titties will distract them or something.
Oh well.
I mean, I will say it's interesting that this guy has like multiple weapons which, by the way, is he basically became the character I originally wanted Link to become
Really?
in Ultimate.
Elaborate.
Yeah, like have him like I thought it would have been interesting to incorporate like Link's weapon usage in Breath of the Wild. So instead of having the typical boomerang bow and arrow stuff, he like pulls out a lance or the claymore or whatever. Give him more varied weapon movesets. And that's kind of what we got with Byleth, however you pronounce the name.
That's the thing, though, is that, yeah, it's Fire Emblem again, but it doesn't look like a bad character. Like, it's like, oh, okay. Alright.
It seems like an interesting character, but it just kind of makes... this was the fifth and, again, originally final release, and this was just, like, such, like, a underwhelming note to end on.
It's a downer. But there's, like, 6 more characters coming. So...
yeah, that's a little
and like already, like it's already a tremendous value Ultimate.
Yeah.
So. Though the weirdest thing on a long list of weird things about that reveal event was when Sakurai started talking about the sales compared to Street Fighter. That was weird. Did you see that bit?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't actually? Did you not watch the presentation?
No, I got the aftermath.
Oh, buddy, you should have watched the presentation. Because it was really sad. Because Sakurai kept trying to make jokes, and they had fake laughter playing in the background.
Oh.
Like a sitcom, and the jokes were just not funny. And it's just Sakurai. And like there were a couple times where like he just says something, and it sounds like, oh, that's an interesting fact, and then they put laugh track behind it. And I'm like, what is that supposed to be? Is that funny? Like, why is that funny? Anyway.
Well, I bet the audience in Japan is just yucking it up.
Maybe they're like Japan only jokes, and like us Western people are just like I don't know. Yeah, but so yeah, there's a point in the event where he just starts talking about the sales of Ultimate versus Street Fighter, and he's like, I don't think that Street Fighter is actually undersold compared to us. I think that Street Fighter has actually sold more than we have, because you have to consider all the different types of Street Fighter games that are out there. And I don't know. It's up for discussion. And I was like, wait, what? Why are you talking about this? Why is this important? Okay, Sakurai, whatever.
Did somebody bring up Street Fighter in the conversation and we just missed it?
No, it's just him. He's just standing there, or sitting there, rather. And he just brings it up out of nowhere. He just starts talking about it, and everybody goes, okay.
Cool.
And of course, he starts talking about this right after they disappointed everybody with this reveal. So like, he also just told people to stop. I mean, he said it in a very polite way, which is a very Sakurai thing to do, apparently. But he basically told people to stop recommending characters to him on Twitter.
Oh, I saw that.
Where he was like, yeah, it's too late. We already know what they are. And apparently, something else that we've garnered from this presentation is that apparently people at Nintendo don't even know what characters he's picked for. And so they only unveil it at these unveil events. So there's going to be people inside the company that don't even know what they're doing.
I'm calling it. It's going to be more Pokemon.
So something that I thought was really funny is that this was, again, one of those moments that like was supposed to be played off as like a joke. And then it totally wasn't a joke. Where he was like, so yes, people inside Nintendo might even go, huh, wow, I didn't know that. And then they put a laugh track behind that. And I was like, is that supposed to be a joke? Like, are you memeing on us? Like, what's going on here? Anyway, that reveal event was weird. The coolest part about it was that they unveiled the Cuphead Mii figure, which honestly, Cuphead should have been the character they revealed in the first place. But, yeah, whatever. At least it's in the game, and it looks cool,
Like Sans, as long as they're in the game.
I honestly wish that it would be the actual character instead of the skin. Like, I feel like that's a better idea. I don't know. They also announced the pre-order bonus for the next Battle Pass, which is like a Link Ancient Armor from Breath of the Wild. Which makes me think that Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
I'm probably going to end getting the Fighter Pass someday.
I'll probably get the second Fighter Pass at some. When I was deciding to get the first Battle Pass, I waited to see what were the two characters they revealed first. And when Joker was first, I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm getting that.
I mean, I remember I was waiting in line with a couple of my friends, and we read the announcement in line, and we're like, okay, yeah, that's a sell on me.
It's a. I mean, again, like Ultimate's already like an insane value, so that they're adding more fighters, it's kind of great. It's exciting.
Yeah, just an underwhelming note to end on for the first Fighter Pass.
Again, if they just switch literally, if they just switch it around.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been like as great of a start, but it would have been a better. It would have been better to end on.
But maybe they don't view things that way. They view it as like, oh, let's just make announcements of what we got when we got it. Like I don't even remember the last character they announced. Like I thought it was like it's like a Konami character or something. Like, I don't even remember.
Terry, he's from Fist of Fury, which was a Neo Geo game.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't even remember.
And I think he's also part of King of Fighters. So that's basically where he's from. But I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting pick. And moved on. It's not like I even played those games, so I can't really be excited for a character like that.
I don't know. The most exciting character announcements were Banjo and Joker for me. Everything else has kind of been like, okay.
Same. Those are fun inclusions.
They should have totally trolled everybody and put Waluigi in it. Just mean to everybody.
I mean, they seem to be very self-aware of the memes. Why
throw King Boo in there as part of if you buy Luigi's Mansion 3, you get King Boo for free in Smash, or like a costume for it. That'd be funny. Oh, that's really all the news that we have this week. It's pretty tame.
Yeah, that's the news.
Yeah, that was the news. That's all there is.
I mean, honestly, they were all. It was kind of some of them being a downer. Honestly,
it's kind of a dreary week.
Yeah,
but there's some good stuff coming.
I look forward to Cyberpunk is probably is one of my more hyped games of the year. So
yeah,
more time to develop is always good news.
Yeah, we're not really gonna do a main topic this week. We're just gonna kind of. I think we'll just end it here. So it's alright. We're already a pretty lengthy podcast. This is the longest one, actually. Yeah.
Really? Huh.
Even when it's done editing, it's probably gonna be the longest one.
Then.
So we're 3 episodes in, Will. How do you feel?
Well, I feel good so far. Right, hoping to keep this track
the real
going.
test is when we get to episode 5. If we can make it past episode 5, and then the next one is episode 10, and then 15, and then 20.
I'm kind of hoping we can break our previous streak of doing bars and tone.
Yeah. How many bars and tones did we do?
I have to look that up.
I'll look it up. But for now, we'll talk about it next time, probably. You want to plug anything before we go?
Buy my non-existent merch.
Subscribe to The Lost Gamer. He's at 97 subscribers. He just needs 3 more to be at 100.
Yeah. Subscribe to not Brandon. He needs about 60 more subscribers.
A lot more. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Bars and Tone. We always appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.